Join the MadeinLuxe team as we go through a day in the kick-ass life of Russia's iron-fisted ruler, Vladimir Putin. From the food he eats, his free time, and his work, we'll be exploring all that today. Some of you might be thinking, hey MadeinLuxe, how the heck is Putin related to your channel? Well, just to let you know, Vladimir Putin is arguably the richest president in the world. A lot of news outlets and critics claim that he has an estimated net worth of over 200 billion US dollars. However, due to many of his complex financial processes and schemes, his exact net worth isn't accurate. Vladimir Putin is a prominent figure in global geopolitics. As the leader of one of the world's major powers, his decisions and policies have a direct impact on international affairs. He actively engages in international diplomacy, participating in forums like the United Nations General Assembly, G20 summits, and BRICS meetings. A man as busy as him can involve a hectic schedule, which we will be getting into today. He regularly wakes up very early when he has work meetings to attend to in the morning, but most of the time, Putin sleeps in until noon. If there's one thing we have in common with the Russian president, that is his knack for sleeping long hours. He starts his day by eating a big breakfast. Technically, this counts as brunch anyway. Usually, Putin scarfs down a porridge or omelette as his main course. He also pairs it up with some cottage cheese, honey, and some fruit juice. Putin also loves quail eggs. Just for a fun fact. Considering how important of a person Putin is, his meals are always made sure to be safe and of the highest quality. His meals are always checked before he eats. Always. Everywhere he goes, from hotels to restaurants, the meals are always checked for poison or anything that can be considered dangerous to him. On top of that, his meals are always cooked with the highest quality ingredients. The ingredients are shipped from Patriarch Kirill's farms, which ensures the quality perfect for a president. Now that he has his fill, Putin will sip on a warm cup of coffee while lounging in his Novo Ogarevo palace. His presidential estate has many amenities, with lots of places to just sit and hang out. Once he's done getting his caffeine fix, he'll go straight to the pool and swim for about 2 hours. Gotta burn those morning calories away first. Aside from the underwater cardio, he also uses this time to reflect and mentally prepare for the day. After swimming, he goes straight to the gym where he continues to work out. Putin prefers lifting heavy weights rather than doing a lot of cardio because he wants to give off a strong and masculine image to other world leaders. Definitely fits into the bare-chested and macho persona that he sometimes gives off. But if he doesn't feel like lifting heavy weights, he will just go play a game of ice hockey with some of his guards instead. Putin has always loved getting into different physical activities. He grew up in a working-class family and displayed an early interest in sports, particularly judo. Being a martial arts hobbyist was something that we didn't expect from him. You also need to consider the fact that being a president takes a big toll on him, both physically and mentally. Putin is well aware of this, which is why he never neglects his daily training. After his morning, or should we say noon activities, Putin gets straight to work. With his mind and body refreshed, he prepares for various meetings and paperwork. He begins by reading some of the notes prepared by some of his staff and then proceeds to other meetings concerning international and/or security issues. The president's work seems to never end. After all, he is in charge of a whole country. Putin reads various reports from the Domestic Intelligence Service, the Foreign Intelligence Service, his personal protection army, and more. In line with security, did you know that Putin strictly prohibits any sort of technology in his workspace? No internet, no laptops, no phones, nothing. It's just straight up business with almost no interference from the outside world. He prefers to sort through red folders of documents, and he also prefers to use a landline telephone instead of communicating through email. He can be very paranoid when it comes to safety, which is why he takes these extreme precautions. Aside from having personal taste testers when it comes to his food, he also has all the things in his hotel room replaced before he gets into it. Just imagine checking into a hotel and the first thing your security team does is to replace every single thing in the room just to make sure you are safe from any danger. Each pillow, blanket, and bed is replaced. In the late afternoon to evening, he usually consumes fruit or kefir, a type of fermented milk drink that originates in the Caucasus Mountains. Not much is known about his overall diet though. His staff is a bit secretive about the more in-depth details. All we know is that he eats a lot of healthy food such as meat, vegetables, fruits, and other natural food. Protein is definitely a staple in his diet, considering he lifts a lot of weights and does his fair share of cardio. He also makes sure to consume foods with nutrients such as calcium, iron, and zinc to maintain his figure. And did you know he avoids drinking alcohol except during special occasions? Putin sure is a lean, green fighting machine. In line with his late afternoon activities, he usually gets occupied with various work affairs and meetings until the evening. On the rare occasion that he doesn't have much work to deal with, he just goes home and spends time with his family and his pets. Most days, Putin just works at home. He doesn't like the 25-minute travel to the Kremlin and would prefer to work at his own pace in his Novo Ogaryovo mansion on the shoreline of the Black Sea. With a home as beautiful as they have, who would even want to leave? But as much as Putin loves staying at home, did you know that he has at least one preferred restaurant in every major city in Russia? Let's take the city of Moscow as an example. There is a German beer hall and restaurant named Pivnoshka, which is said by locals to have the best bratwurst in town. It is also one of the places that Putin occasionally visits. Another example of this is the city of St. Petersburg. Putin visited a dinner cruise named New Island sometime in the past, alongside his political companions Staraya Tamoznya and Gerard Schroeder. New Island is a dinner cruise that sells delicacies such as Kamchatka crab salad and veal orloff while sailing along the Neva River. Now let's get right into his evening activities. You can probably guess from his previous activities, but Putin is a night owl. It's one thing in common that he has with college students and procrastinators, but he isn't a person that crams things though, because he genuinely works better in the nighttime. After a break, he gets back to work again. He reads a lot of reports and files. After all that work, he goes to bed around 3 a.m. We're not sure if he has done any skincare routines before bed, so we'll just leave that to your imagination. Being a president is very difficult. It all begins with the filing of candidacy for the presidency. As much power, wealth, and influence as you may have, you also have hundreds of different responsibilities that will put a lot of pressure on you. You can see this in Putin's daily routine, from his afternoon meetings to his late night work sessions. He may have some time for himself and his hobbies, but the pressure to do well for his country will never go away for as long as he serves as the president. And that concludes a day in the life of the world's richest president. We hope you gained new insights on what a president does in his daily life and how Putin manages to do his job well despite all its hardships. A good daily routine will guarantee you a sound mind and body. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you like this video. This is MadeinLuxe signing off.